we unfortunately don't have the luxury of just being able to say, you know what, I ain't doing nothing. Because when we don't do nothing, it affects everybody that we touch.
Welcome back to the podcast. I started this podcast as a way to help Black men in all aspects of our lives. Studies show on average we lose 2.8 years of our life when we're under heavy stress. And I think we can gain those 2.8 years back if we express ourselves healthily. Stick with me as I interview therapists, doctors, advocates, activists, and friends about how we can be better as Black men and as a Black community. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube and following us on Instagram and TikTok, you'll definitely want to do that. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Okay, we're back with another episode. This is a different episode. This is a different setting. This is a solo episode, so I don't have any guests with me. I don't have anybody that's going to be giving extra additional insight outside of my own. And I think I'm long overdue for a solo episode. I really don't know if I'm going to keep this episode. So I just did a take, and I was like, man, I don't really like this. So we're going to see. I'm going to try again. If this don't work out, then listen, man, we're going to skip an episode for a week. But I have a few things that I want to discuss because I feel like sometimes when I do podcast episodes with guests, I don't have an opportunity to discuss some of the things that I really want to talk about. Because when you're doing podcast episodes with people, you want to give them the floor to talk about the things that they're good at. And oftentimes that means deferring to them to lead the conversation or to guide the conversation. And so sometimes I have things that I want to discuss. I'm like, nah, it's not the right time or not the right form, not the right space. But when you're doing a solo episode, you can talk about whatever. And I think one of the things that I was talking to my girl about that I wanted to bring to the podcast and have a conversation about was the concept of being faithful. So she was talking to me about the secret to being faithful. She had read a tweet and she was asking, what's the secret to being faithful? And I was telling her there's no secret. Like there's really no secret to being faithful. I know social media makes it out to seem like there's a secret. And if you have a faithful man or a faithful partner, like, oh my gosh, you're so blessed because all the men out here are cheating. All men cheat. It's not true. It's just the men that you've met have happened to cheat on you or the people that you know, right? So I don't want this thought process to be something that we take with us. Like there's like some special characteristic or special thing that people need to do in order for them to be faithful, right? It's as simple as making a choice. You consistently make choices. We're all adults. We make decisions. I really don't think there's anything special about being faithful, but I understand why we make it out to be this huge thing. Because there's so much like noise on social media about how difficult it is for men to stay faithful. And like we have animal instincts and all these different kind of things. Like we have no self-control. And that's like the narrative that's played out all over the place. It's like men have no self-control. So if you have a man that has self-control, praise him. Granted, like I definitely want to be appreciated. Don't get me wrong. But like this thought process that just because I'm a man, I don't know how to control myself. And that for some reason, like I don't know how to be faithful, and that I have to do like all these special things, is kind of nuts to me. But I will say, like, there's certain things that I just try to avoid. Like I try to avoid putting myself in situations where there's a potential for something to happen. What do I mean by that? Like I'm not having conversations with women super late at night. If I am, or if I have to, for some reason, conversation is short and professional. I'm establishing boundaries with women, making sure that they know I'm in a relationship. If I meet a new woman, I'm talking about my girl within like the first 15 minutes of the conversation. If I can insert my girl in my relationship in it, I'm going to do that. And the reason why is because I'm letting her know, like, yo, listen, I'm taking it. So whatever, evaluating you doing, if you think I look good or whatever the case may be, just know I'm off the market, right? Because I don't even want there to be a sliver of hope or like opportunity for something to happen. That's just how I move. Everybody doesn't have to move like that. That's just me personally, because I don't want to put myself in positions where now I have to W. Now I gotta be like, nah, I'm good. I got a girl. because that's just weird. It's uncomfortable for me. I will do it. I don't like doing it. So I'm just proactive. That's something I tell my team all the time, like being proactive instead of reactive. I think a lot of us are just reactive to life. Like we just react to things that happen. It's like something happens, all right, cool, now I'm gonna react to it. I'm not proactively thinking about things that could potentially happen. I'm not preempting things. I'm not setting myself up. I'm not setting my future self up for success. What do I mean by setting my future self up for success? I mean, what are you doing today to make sure that future you doesn't have to work as hard to get the things that they want done? It could be as simple as the night before the next big morning that you're gonna have, you set things up so that in the morning when you wake up, you don't have to go scrambling to find things. So I think my night routine is more important than my morning routine at this point, because my night routine sets up my entire day. And that's what I've learned as I've gotten older, is like, I have to have a good routine at night in order for me to be successful. So I try to make my smoothie at night. I try to wash the dishes at night. I try to clean the kitchen up at night so that when I wake up in the morning, boom, I know, all right, cool, I'm gonna go get the smoothie. The kitchen's clean. I don't got to worry about nothing. I could just come get my lunch at lunchtime, and then I do what else I need to do for the rest of the day. But I think when you're being reactive to life, it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna wake up. This is just a small situation, talking about the morning routines. But when we expand it outside of that, like we can see how it impacts other people. Like if you know you have a deadline coming up for a project, right? Or you know you need some documentation for something that you're about to have to do. Why are we waiting until the last minute? Why are we waiting until things hit the fan for us to then take action? And I think that's one of the things that, like I said, I talk to my team about, but I try to drill into everybody that's around me. It's like, yo, bro, stop being reactive to life. Stop letting life happen to you. Like, stop letting things just happen to you. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this thing happened. I don't know how to deal with it. Like, yo, bro, like, you could have probably preempted that a little bit. Just think back to things that's happened in your life, right? Like, there's certain things that you can do proactively to make it so that you don't have to be as reactive to certain situations. That's how I like to live my life, because I feel like it makes things easier for me so that I don't have to be so stressed out all the time. Because as Black men, we deal with a lot of stress, bro. We deal with so much stress. When I tell you I have been stressed out these last few weeks, stressed, bro. I'm stressed about the podcast, stressed about the business, stressed about partners, stressed about setting stuff up for the crib, stressed about work, just stressed. Just stressed about everything. So when you got to stress out about the little things, like, what am I going to eat? Is the kitchen clean? Like, when you have to stress out about those type of things on top of all the additional stresses that you already have as being a Black man, that's when you get to being depressed, burnt out, like, yo, I'm out of here. I don't even want to operate. I don't even want to get out of bed. And so that's why I like to be proactive. That's why, because when I'm proactive, I can at least control the little things so that they don't tip me over to the point where I'm depressed, burnt out, not wanting to do anything. Because the unfortunate reality for so many Black men is that we unfortunately don't have the luxury of just being able to say, you know what, I ain't doing nothing. Because when we don't do nothing, it affects everybody that we touch. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, if I don't do something, it affects my girl, it affects my potentially my parents, my friends, like all the people around me that I really truly care about and love. If I decide that, yo, I'm not doing anything, it impacts all of them. So unfortunately for us, because we're a touch point for so many different people, we don't really have the luxury of just being able to be like, yeah, I'm good, bro. But don't get me wrong, bro. Like, that doesn't mean we're not supposed to rest and we're not supposed to chill. That's not what I'm saying. Because I think we put an affirmation up the other day. It was like, Black man, get some rest. It was like the weekend of Mother's Day weekend. And then I think we had some people comment like, how am I going to get rest this Mother's Day weekend? It's like, bro, this is exactly when you should be getting rest. And what I mean by that is like, yo, when you're going through stressful times in your life, that's when you need to make sure that you're getting the rest that you actually need to be able to navigate those times. That's what I was talking to my therapist about. I was going through a stressful period in my life and I wasn't taking care of myself because I'm trying to take care of everything else and everybody else. And she was like, yo, I understand things are stressful for you right now, but you really gotta take care of yourself even more during these periods. You have to make sure that you're doing your self-care routine even more. So the meditation that you was doing 5 minutes of, you gotta do 10. When you was writing in your journal, you write a couple of sentences, you gotta write a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. You gotta do even more to make sure that you're getting out what you need to get out so that you're not stressed as you go through this extremely stressful period in your life. And I think what happens for us is that when we go through these stressful periods in our lives, we put the things down that we shouldn't be putting down. Like the taking care of ourselves, we like, yo, nah, I ain't got time to do that. I gotta make sure I get everything else taken care of. I don't got time to rest. I don't got time to do self-care. What you mean rest on Mother's Day weekend? I gotta make sure my mom's taken care of. I gotta make sure everybody else is taken care of. And that's the mistake that we make. We put everybody else ahead of ourselves. And I understand that to a degree, like, yo, it's important. Sometimes you have to do that. If you got kids, you got elderly parents or elders around you that you got to take care of, I understand that wholeheartedly. But you still have to find time to take care of you. You still have to find time to take care of you. That's the reality, right? Like, is you still have to find time to take care of you. And when you don't do that, you put yourself in a position of being the point of failure where you're now not able to operate. And like we talked about before, all those different touch points, friends, family, loved ones that rely on you are not able to function or function as healthily as they were before because you're not able to provide and be there for them, right? You're not able to be that anchor and block for them. So I think it's so important, man. Like these last few weeks, I have not done a good job of taking care of myself at all. This whole week, I haven't read the Bible as much as I need, as I should. I haven't done my Bible studies because I just been all over the place just trying to do stuff. And I see how it impacts me on my in my day-to-day stuff. Like I'll still be able to get stuff done, but it's like I'm not doing it. I'm not able to operate the same way I would operate if I was taking care of myself. It's like I'm getting stuff done, but it's not the way I would normally get them done. And I'm just all over the place. And I don't think that's a healthy process. And when I find myself in that mindset where I'm just like all over the place, just doing stuff, I know it's important for me to just sit down. So I'm appreciative of this time right now. Although I'm doing work technically by recording a podcast, like I'm just able to just sit down and just get my thoughts out.
All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode.
And I was talking to my team today, my assistant, and she was like, you know, maybe you shouldn't do the podcast. Maybe you should just chill. And I was like, nah, I want to do it because it gives me a space to just be able to just chill. Like, and just, it actually does give me a space to chill. This is work, but it gives me a space to chill and just talk and vent and release. And I haven't done a therapy session in months. I'm long overdue for that as well. But this has been this like space has been real therapeutic for me. And so I wanted to bring that back by doing a solo episode. So hopefully y'all still listening. Hopefully y'all not tired of me. But if y'all are, I understand. You know, I normally don't talk this much on that episode. I've been talking for more than probably 10 minutes at this point. But listen, man, I got some things I want to get off my chest, and I think it's important that we have this conversation and we share this time with each other. So please bear with me, man. I want to talk a little bit about family dynamics too, because we got family over right now. And it's been interesting, man, just being around a bunch of family and seeing like how different things play out and the different issues that people have, whether it be in relationships, whether it be with their own parents or cousins or uncles and all these different kind of things. And one of the things that I've realized that causes a lot of issues in families is when one person dies in a family. Like, let's say it's the matriarch or the patriarch of the family. So that's like the great grandma, the great grandpa, the great uncle, the great aunt. And they don't have a system for passing things down in a healthy way. And they don't make sure that that is taken care of. That transfer of ownership, and not only the transfer of ownership of properties, but also, or properties and assets, but also the transfer of authority. When that is not done properly, it creates chaos. It creates so much chaos. I see it all over the place. Not just with my family, not just with the families of the people that I know, but I see it all over the place. When there's a lack of proper transfer of ownership and authority, when someone passes in a family, it creates a chaotic family structure where everybody is grabbing at things and trying to hold on to something that may not even have been theirs, and nobody knows who to listen to because there's no transfer of authority. And it's so sad, bro. It's so sad because it's like you'll grow up with people and you'll think like, oh, this is my whatever, sibling, brother, sister, whatever the case may be. Then people get older and due to some circumstances in their lives or whatever the case is, money becomes more important than everything else. And not even just money, but just like feeling like I own something and have something becomes more important than family, than making sure I have a good relationship with the people around me that I've known for my whole life, that have been there for me for my whole life. Right? And this is not even my personal situation. I'm just talking about stuff that I've seen, and I want to make sure that I don't make that mistake in my family. Like when it's time for me to go, I want to make sure that I set up like my transfer of ownership and my transfer of authority. I set up my will and my papers and all that stuff is taken care of because I'm seeing how it destroys families, bro. It literally destroys family structures, bro. You will literally have an entire family tree that is now fractured and everybody's in different directions and making all these different sections and groups where certain people don't talk to certain people or there's beef. And it's like for over a house. You get what I'm saying? Like over bread. We beefing over money as a family. Like, I don't think that should ever happen. But too often I see it happen. And I think one of the big reasons why is because of that transfer of ownership and authority. When that's not done properly, bro, it creates chaos. So if you're in a family right now, your parents are at that age where it's like, writing a will wouldn't be crazy. Make sure they take care of that, bro. Make sure y'all get an attorney, whoever it is that y'all need. I wish I knew more. I don't know enough. But all I know is that things need to be taken care of legally, and not only legally, but inside of the family, there needs to be conversation. This is what's going to happen. Open discussions about the will and the process so that nobody is shocked afterwards. They hear it from the horse's mouth so that they know like this was their intention. I cannot get it wrong because I heard it from them. if I go with any other thought process, I'm actually delusional, right? I think that would solve a lot of issues, bro. Because it's like, I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you. You don't want to be in that type of situation where you're like, someone's passed now, the will is being discussed, nobody really knew what was in it, and now everybody's finding out for the first time like it's some lottery after things are discussed. And it just creates too much. So I think it's a good idea to discuss that stuff beforehand. That's me personally. Because I've seen what it does when you don't. It just creates chaos, man. It creates chaos. Man. And speaking of family, like, I think my whole life I've grown up being a fixer. So like, I'll see issues in my family, I'm like, yo, I can fix that. I can mediate that. I can go and talk to this person and get them to like. And so I can always recognize in another person when they're a fixer. Because they always overexert. Like, they're always trying to like make sure everybody's good. And I think a lot of black men are like that. Like, a lot of black men are fixers because we've been socialized to like always be there for everybody, regardless of what's going on with us. So we think that that's like a role that we embody, and it becomes kind of part of our identity to a point where we feel like if we're not doing that, something's wrong. But what I've actually realized is like, oftentimes people don't need fixing. People don't even need a solution. People just want someone to hear. And they want to feel seen and understood. And once I started realizing that, it helped me to like just detach from everybody's outcome in their lives. Because I think I've taken on so much responsibility, making sure this person's good, that person's good. Like, yo, bro, I don't got to do that. That's their responsibility, is to make sure that they're good. I'm here to help and support when needed, if needed. Because when I try to fix things for people all the time, I get tight because I'm like, yo, I'm trying to fix this for this person. I'm telling them all these different solutions and things that I think should be working, and they don't want to do it. Now I'm mad at them because they don't want to listen to my advice, and why they didn't even listen to my advice in the first place. And what I realized is because a lot of times the advice be unsolicited advice. This person came to me with something, and although it bothered me and I want to help them by giving them a solution, they didn't necessarily ask for my advice in that moment. And so me giving them my solution, although I can potentially implement it, it's probably not something that they're ready to implement in the first place, which is why they never asked for the advice. Or they already have a solution that they're planning on doing, and me giving that unsolicited advice isn't going to change their mind. So a lot of times what I've learned as I've gotten older is, yo, bro, just shut up. When someone's coming to you with something, like when people come to me with stuff, I just shut up, bro. I don't say anything. I just listen. They could be boo-hoo crying on the phone. I'm not giving solutions. I just sit with them in silence, bro. I give them the space to get everything out. Like, I just give them space to just talk, because I realize me giving the solution oftentimes isn't what they need to hear or what they even need in that moment. And I think for us as black men, we have really struggled, or at least the men that I've talked to have struggled with turning off the solution-oriented aspect of our minds when people come to us with problems. Because automatically when we hear problem, our brain processes that as give out a solution. Input problem, process, give out solution. And it's like, bro, oftentimes people don't even need that, bro. They just want to really just get out their problems. They just want to output the problems so that they can be able to implement their own solution that they've already come up with. And so I just give people space, bro. I encourage y'all to just give people space. Someone's coming to you boo-hoo crying, They upset about something, they tight, give them space, bro. Just give them space to get it out. Let them yell, let them curse. Just give them space to get it out, bro. Because oftentimes that's what they need more than a solution. And then ask the question like, bro, do you want a listening ear or do you want a solution right now? Like, are you looking for my advice or are you looking for me to just comfort you? Because I can do either or. I just need to know which one you're looking for so I know which role to play in this scenario. And I promise y'all that'll change a lot of stuff. For those of y'all that's in relationships with women, trust me, bro. Trust me. It will help out a lot. Because oftentimes with women especially, women will come to you with something and they're not necessarily looking for you to solve the problem for them. They just want to say, hey, babe, this thing happened at work. I'm so annoyed. And they want you to really just feel them out on it and hear them out. And I think it creates so much friction in a relationship when you're trying to give a solution and she just wants to be seen. Damn. Telling you, bro. I'm telling you, you may not want to hear it. It may be annoying. Whatever the case may be, bro. It is what it is. Trust and believe me, son. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Just chill, bro. It'll save you and her time. It'll save you and her time, man. I'm telling you, bro. Telling you. Yo, man, the other day I was in the office / guest room and the neighbor was like yelling, bro. I don't know what was going on, but I could tell they were like somebody was arguing with somebody. And I'm listening to them argue and I'm getting like worked up. Like, not like I want to argue, but I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm feeling like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to say it, but I'm feeling scared. I'm like, why am I scared right now? Why am I nervous? Somebody yelling that's not even in my crib. My doors are locked. I'm good. If somebody was coming in here, I know I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I scared about my neighbors yelling? And then I realized in that moment, adult Kofi wasn't scared, but inner child Kofi, right? For those of y'all that don't know, my name is actually Kofi. Kizzle's a nickname, right? Inner child Kofi was terrified, bro. Because as a child, if I heard yelling and banging and all these different kind of things, I felt like something could potentially happen to me. And so when I hear yelling and there's nothing I can do and I can't control it, I get nervous, bro. And so I was like, yo, I was nervous. Then I had to tell myself, bro, you good. Like I literally had to talk to my inner child. Like, yo, bro, you good, bro. Like, relax. You straight. You in your crib. Nothing is up right now. You all right. But I had to tell myself that because I'm like, yo, son, like I'm getting a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm feeling some type of way. So I really don't like yelling. I like a crib that's like dead quiet. Like you can hear a pin drop on the 4th floor. Well, it probably wouldn't be a crib, it's 4 floors, but well, maybe. But you get what I'm saying, right? You can hear a pin drop in the backyard on grass with all the doors closed. That's how quiet I like my crib to be. So when I hear yelling, whether it's in my crib or outside, I'm like, oh my God, man. I don't like yelling. I don't really raise my voice like that unless I'm really tight. So I don't like yelling, man, because I think I grew up in a crib where like I saw so much, not so much, but it's like I dealt with that enough to know what it feels like. I don't want to create that type of environment in my own space. I don't. Like I have no desire to. And I think that's why healing has also been so important for me. I want to make sure I give my kids, like when I have them, an environment where they can just be just children all the time. Not saying I wasn't able to be a child growing up, but it's like, you know, you go through certain things that make you have to either change or like grow up differently and all these different kind of things. And I just want to make sure I give my child an environment that is like as conducive and healthy as possible for them to be as successful as they need to be. And I think yelling is like one of the things I want to make sure I work on that I'm not doing. Like having family around right now. Like I've seen my nephew, his baby, super young. And I realized like, yo, bro, I ain't ready for no kids right now, bro. I am not ready for kids at all. Bro, kids? Yo, salute to all the parents, man. Salute to y'all, bro. Because I can't do it, son. Kids are wild. They be running around all day. Touching stuff they're not supposed to be touching. Like just making messes. Bro, and they gotta eat. They be pooping. Oh my God. They be pooping, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. Excuse me, Lord. I'm so sorry. But bro, it's a lot of work. So I salute all the parents, man. It's not an easy job being a parent. I gotta text my bros because I'm like, yo, I got 2 bros that are new dads. Like, salute. I'm not ready. People be asking Naeem and I, when y'all gonna have kids? We about to be the uncle and aunt that show up to the family functions. We play with everybody's like kids for a little bit and then we out. We doing that for the next 5 years, bro. Don't ask us about no damn kids, bro. We don't want no kids right now. We see y'all kids. You think we want that right now? Hell no. I want them, yo. And I'm not naive enough to think my kid's gonna be perfect. I keep telling Naima, yo, our kids ain't doing that. She'd be like, yeah, all right. I'd be like, yo, nah, our kid's not doing that. She'd be like, yeah, okay. I know my kid's gonna do that, but I'm trying to psych myself out so when I get to that point, but I already know. But that's part of the reason why I'm not ready. Like, I'm just not ready, bro. I'm not ready for kids right now, bro. I love the way my life is right now. I couldn't imagine bringing kids into this right now. Like having to record this, like all the stuff that I've been doing on top of like, yo, damn, I gotta go change little Kofi diaper. What? Bro, yo, nah. I got enough going on right now. Like adding a child on top of that? It ain't the move right now. And I think it's so important, like, for us to be cognizant of that. You gotta know when you have to know when it's time for you to do certain things in your life. You have to be aware. And this goes back to the point of being proactive instead of reactive. Be proactive. I'm being proactive right now. I know I ain't ready for no kids right now, but what I am doing is preparing myself. So when it's time for me to actually have kids, like I will actually be prepared. Like making a plan. I'm a planner, yo, through and through. And I love the fact that Naeem was a planner too. So I ain't gotta like pull her teeth to plan stuff. We gonna plan stuff together. And when we plan, we get on the same page so that we not out here just wilding. I think that's very important. One of the most underrated things that's not talked about enough is planning out your life. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you don't want? So that you know where you're going and how you're operating. And I think a lot of times, like, because people don't plan things out, they run into issues. And not only are they running into issues, they just accept things that they wouldn't have accepted or that they shouldn't accept. And they wouldn't have accepted, like I said, if they actually had a plan. Like if I plan my life out and I know I want to get a certain job, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be in a job that's not going to lead me to that. So now I know I'm not working here, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I got to go and do this. And in order for me to do this, maybe I got to do some other things. So like now I know, okay, cool, reverse engineering where I want to be in 5 years, I know I need to go to school potentially, or I need to go get a certificate. right? Like, I think that's so important. When you don't sit down and do that work, you just out here just doing whatever all the time. I think we get stuck in that. Like, we get stuck in the quick, instant gratification of life. I'm gonna just go do this little small thing, get some bread, and I'll be good. It doesn't have any backing to it. I may not even have a W-2 if I go and work this thing, which means that I can't show proof of income if I want to go live by myself. But it's quick money and my bro be doing it, so I'm gonna just go do that. Like, nah, bro, why you not just sit down for like a day or so, or a week, or however long it takes you, and think about where do you want to be, bro, in 5 to 10 years, bro. If I never thought about this, if I never thought about that, none of this stuff would exist, bro. None of that. None of this stuff would exist at all. Like, all of this stuff materialized off of me just sitting down with myself and thinking, what do I want to do? And it's not as hard as people think, bro. It's really not. It's not as hard as people think to really plan out your life. But it does take intention, and it does take work and knowing yourself. And I think that's what a lot of people run from, is like running from themselves. Like, you're running from yourself. But you can never run quick enough to actually get away. And so when it feels like you're stuck in mud, it's because you're running from yourself. You need to sit down with yourself. Why haven't I been able to do this thing? Or why can't I do this? Or why these other people are doing all these different kind of things and I'm not able to? First of all, stop comparing yourself to people. That's one. Second of all, understand that you're on your own journey and your own path, and that things are going to be different for you than they are for other people. That's two. Third of all, what is it that you actually want to do? Do you really want to do what they're doing? Or does that just look lit to you? Like, do you really want that? Do you really want to have to sit down and record podcasts for 2 hours and then go have a team and chop it up and turn it into clips and all these different? Is that really what you want to do? Or does it just look lit when you see the clips on IG? Let's be honest. Like, ask yourself those questions. I'm all about asking myself deep, introspective questions, because if I don't ask myself those questions, I don't have the answers, and then I spend years doing things I'm not supposed to be doing. And then on top of asking myself the question, I'm going to talk to God. I'm going to ask him too. And I'm going to ask him for clarity and discernment. Because if I don't ask him for clarity and discernment, I'm going to end up doing things I'm not supposed to be doing. This is how you get out of alignment quick. You comparing yourself to other people, you're not planning, and then on top of that, you're not asking Big G for advice. So you just out here just moving. You walking in place, but you think it's motion. Oh, I'm having motion. You ain't got no motion, bro. You walking in place. That's not motion. That's not motion, bro. That's not motion at all. So you really got to get in tune with yourself. You got to be introspective, bro. You got to take the time to understand who you are and where you want to be, bro. Reverse engineer from where you want to be to where you are right now, and think about the steps that it will take you to be where you want to be. It is not that difficult, bro. Please sit down with yourselves. Sit down and do it. If y'all take nothing from this episode, bro, if y'all take absolutely nothing from this episode, I'm begging y'all, bro, sit down and think about where you want to be. I'm not saying you got to go to school. I'm not saying you have to go and spend 3 years doing a course or whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is, if you want to do something, you need to sit down with yourself. You have to, bro. There is no substitute for getting to know yourself. That's why the healing journey is so important, because part of healing is understanding yourself. And when you can truly understand who you are at your core, it gives you so much insight and such an advantage that you will be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. You will. And it sounds so far-fetched to people that actually haven't spent the time doing the work, but I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be this adamant about it if I didn't believe it was true. And if I didn't have the actual results from my own life. I only tell y'all to do stuff that has worked for me, bro. I'm not one of those people that come on IG or come on the podcast and I just be chatting up stuff that I've never done or never implemented. If I'm telling y'all something, it's because it literally works for me. So you can look at me and say, yo, you know what? If that worked for him, there's a high likelihood it can work for me, because I tell people all the time, I am the average black man. Ain't nothing special about me. And I'll say that all the time because I think it's important for y'all to hear that. I don't want y'all to see 200,000 followers on IG or 90,000 followers on TikTok, 6K or whatever on YouTube and think, oh, this dude is a celebrity. I am nobody's celebrity, bro. When I see people in person and they be like wanting to take pictures or like dap me up and stuff and like, yo, I know you from IG, I'll be like, I'm as shocked as they are, bro. Like truly. If I see y'all in person and y'all like know me, I'm as shocked as you are. Truly. I go back home and I talk to my girl about that. That's where I'm at right now. I'm the average person. So please, if it's working for me, it can work for you, bro. But you gotta spend that time. There's no substitute for spending that time with yourself. There is none. There is none. And I think the longer you wait to do that, the more of a delay you put on your blessings. And I'm not one that likes to delay my blessings. I like for God to be able to hand me my blessings right away. And I know the only way I'm gonna be able to get my blessings is if I put the work in. But the only way I'm gonna be able to put the work in is if I understand where I need to be, so I know what work I'm putting in, so I know what I need to do. It's a domino effect, bro. Like truly. And I think when you don't do that work, bro, you're not able to, and by the work, I mean like working on yourself to understand what you are, who you are, and where you want to be. When you don't do that work, bro, you're not able to do the work, man. You're not able to do the work. You're not able to do the work. Get in tune, son. Get in tune, man. Get in alignment, bro. Read the word. Or whatever word works for you. I don't care, bro. I'm not one of those people like, yo, bro, you gotta be Christian, read the Bible. Like, I don't care, bro. I think there's one God and we all praying to the same person. And he just be looking at us like, yo, bro, why y'all got all these different religious denominations and this and that? And it's just me up here. Like, I think that's my thought process. So when I'm talking about prayer and all that kind of stuff, bro, I don't care if you Muslim or Christian or whatever. I don't care about none of that. You just need to have a spiritual relationship. I don't care who you think is up there, but you got to have somebody that you think is up there. That's important. That's my thought process. Because again, like when we talk about us as men, the reason why this is so important for us as men, bro, because oftentimes, like, women get this, but we don't get this. The reason why it's so important for us as men to have a spiritual relationship is because we have to know when we've come to the limit of what we can do as human beings. And I think so many of us have been socialized to believe that we can do it all by ourselves, that we don't understand the importance of a spiritual relationship because we don't even know what our limits are. I don't need to have a relationship with Big G if I feel like I can do everything by myself. Why talk to Big G? Because I can do everything by myself. You can't though, bro. You can't. You can't. Call yourself a god, whatever the case may be. You cannot do everything by yourself, bro. I don't give a damn what you be seeing on IG. You can't do everything by yourself, and you're going to reach the limit of your power. You have to be able to reach and talk to somebody. Big G is who I mean by somebody. You have to be able to talk to him. You have to. So when you don't get your prayer life right, when you don't know how to have those conversations, you're going to be in friction. Consistent friction. And it's not a good place to be when you're in friction with what Big G wants for you. It's not a good place to be, bro. You want to be in flow, in alignment, letting Big G give you what it is that you need. Now, I know I keep calling him Big G. I don't know. I call it, that's just me. I call him Big G. But you want to be in alignment. You want to be in flow. I tell people all the time, bro, I don't force nothing on this pod, bro. Ever, 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 bro. I don't force any business relationships, none of that, bro. I meet a lot of people on social media. A lot of these people, I ain't gonna lie, they look lit on their profiles, but some of these people, I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible. Some of these people be weird, bro. And I don't like being around weird people. So I don't force nothing. I let God direct me to what is natural and flowing. And that's why I find the best relationships, the best people, the best guests, the best content, the people that are going to help me along the journey. But if I'm not in alignment with God and what God wants, I'm not going to be able to get into that flow state with Big G because I'm not in alignment. I'm in friction. So that's why I always keep telling y'all, like, yo, pray, pray, pray. I'm not one of those people that's going to church every Sunday and I know all the scriptures in the Bible and all these different kind of things, but I think prayer and reading the Bible or whatever it is that you read is so important, bro. Get in tune with your spiritual relationship. Understand the extent of what your power is. Understand your limitations. Because if you don't, you're going to be out here thinking you have control of things that you don't have control over, leading you to being stressed out, burnt out, and ultimately depressed. And if we're a holistic health platform, I'm trying to remove all the obstacles, all the things that are going to lead y'all into depression. And one of the things that I've seen that leads black men into depression more than anything is them believing they have control over everything. You do not have control over everything, bro. You don't. There's just certain things you're just not going to be able to do. You can fight as much as you want. You can work as hard as you want. There's certain things you're not going to be able to do, bro. And the quicker and sooner you understand that, the easier life will be because you'll realize it's out of my control. This is an indication. I got to talk to Big G and leave it up to Big G and release. Release, bro. Release. When I find myself stressing out about things that I can't control, I take a moment to myself, I understand and assess the situation, and although I may still be tight, because it's not like it's gonna go away right away. Just because I understand I don't have control over it, doesn't mean that my emotion and my feeling goes away in that moment with that acknowledgement. That's not what happens. What happens is I realize and I acknowledge I'm tight for a little bit more time, and then I'm like, all right, cool, we good, because I ain't got no control over this, so I'm not gonna let this control me. You get what I'm saying? I have no control over this. I'm not gonna let this control me. It's controlling how I behave. It's controlling my mood. It's controlling how I interact with the people around me. I don't have control over this, but it's controlling every aspect of my life right now. Why? Why? There's a Bible verse. It says, can all your worries add a single moment to your life? Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? I want to say it's James 2, verse 4. I could be wrong, though. But it says, can all your worries add a single moment to your life? And I think that's so important. Like, even if y'all don't read the Bible because y'all don't believe in God or whatever the case may be, bro, just read the Bible. Like, there's so much wisdom in the Bible, bro. Like, it's honestly a good book outside of it being religious or whatever the case may be. It's a good book. Like, it's a lot of wisdom in there. Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? Can it? Can you worrying about the outcome of things add any time to your life? No. Why are you stressing so much, bro? Why? What are you so stressed about? And the crazy thing about stress, when you stressing and you panicking, especially panic, bro. A lot of black men like panic. Like panicking is like, yo, oh my God, son, I don't even like, but we'll like, Outwardly, we'll look like everything is cool, but inwardly, we're panicking. Panicking. When you panic, you are not able to think, bro. You're not able to think. I need you to understand you're not gonna have control over everything. Some things are not gonna go the way you want them to go, even when you do plan. That's when it's time for you to talk to Big G, bro. That's exactly when it's time for you to talk to Big G. Stop panicking. Stop stressing. Stop thinking you have control over everything. And be proactive in your life, bro. Be proactive. That's it. Be proactive, plan it out. And when the plan goes to shit, which it will, excuse my language, know how to pivot and know how to talk to Big G and ask him for guidance. I love y'all, man. I wouldn't be on here talking for 50 plus minutes if I didn't. Trust and believe me, I do, man. And these are some of the things that I'm seeing with black men that are, in my life and just black men in general. I had no script. I didn't think I was going to go in this direction for this episode. I didn't even know if I was going to keep this episode. I told myself like, yo, bro, if I record this the second time and I'm not really feeling it, I'm out. I ain't going to stress it. I'm not going to force it because it don't make sense. But I really like the direction in which this episode went. I think God did what he needed to do. And so I hope that this was helpful for some of y'all. If it was, please let me know. If you want me to do more solo episodes, please let me know. Because this is stepping away from some of the stuff that we normally do on the podcast. This has felt good for me, so I'll probably do something like this in the future, for sure. But yeah, man, like, I appreciate y'all. Please let me know what y'all like us to discuss in future episodes. We have some dope stuff coming with some previous guests that you guys have really enjoyed. And so I'm excited for that. And I'm very, very, very appreciative of you guys. So like everybody that's on the platform that shares the content, that comments, that sends DMs, that likes, all that kind of stuff, I appreciate it so much. I may not be able to get to all the comments, and I'm not reading a lot of the comments on IG right now just because there's so many different things that's happening with the business. But trust and believe me, like, I really do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that supports us, everybody that talks to me about it, like that's in my personal life. All of you guys that are sharing the content and having discussions about it, and that's actually leading to change, healthy change and positive change in your lives. That means the world to me. I started this with just the thought process that, if I could be able to impact one person, I'm good. So I think we've definitely covered that and more. And that's what the support of you guys. So just want to make sure I said that on the episode. Yeah, man, I think that's going to be it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel, please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok, scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things
and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals, so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it. If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best and sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. Shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for.